Hey, welcome back. It's the whatever with Hoff and Vase. Uh, we're wearing masks so that you couldn't tell it was us. Who's who? I don't know.
What channel did you click on?
How did you get here? We're interested to
Who
know.
sent you?
Did you hear
Who
that
sent you?
Deadpool and well, who would you be? I guess just
I'd be
some sort of criminal.
No, I can't take that name. Yeah, I'm just a lowly criminal. I'm just a henchman. That's it. I'm your henchman because I'm the co-host for this show. So I'm your henchman.
Gary? Is that you?
Hey, don't call me out, man. Don't use my real name.
You since Phoenix.
Don't use my real name. So my name's Hoff Gary.
Hoff Gary. I want to get to the bottom of this while we wait for maybe some people to join us, and maybe they will, and maybe they won't. No, actually, I don't want to get to the bottom of that, but anyway.
What were you gonna ask?
I don't really even remember. Why is your name Gary?
Oh, because you called me Gary. My name's not Gary.
That's right. Well, don't blame me for your name.
You named me. You labeled me.
I could have sworn you said you were Gary.
Never said that.
You look like a Gary. You shouldn't look like that. I mean, it's the same thing, you know.
What does a Gary look like? Are you stereotyping Garys there?
Well, that mask. As sure as I look like Deadpool and that looks like Yoda, you're clearly as clear as day a Gary. That's Gary. That's a stereotype. You're just trying to make me look foolish.
Here we go. Now
impossible. You couldn't really possibly make me look foolish at this point.
Yeah, you got that. You got that.
Which is why it's impossible for you.
There we go.
Now then.
Yes, because you're the best.
The best I ever had. Wait, when did you have me? You never had me.
You're the best around. And buddy, I'm gonna bring you down.
It's better.
Who the fuck's going to downvote you, Vase? What the fuck? It wasn't me, man.
Oh, I don't care. No,
some bitch. I mean, people hate me too, man. Don't feel bad.
The only reason someone would is because they're very depressed, they're very sad. They're like, he's wearing masks and hanging out with other people wearing masks, and he's got a Yoda, and they didn't invite me. And I'm like, yes, I clearly did. How did you get here? That's why we're asking, how did you get here? And they don't tell us, they just downvote it.
How did I get here?
Where? Holy shit, Rick, how did he get there?
So, I like the shades with the mask. That's a good look.
I'm glad.
I don't know how I'm going to drink through this thing. I can't drink through this thing, man. I could, but it's going to make a mess. And this
you
is
need to get a straw, and then you put that up underneath.
Oh, I drill a hole through this and get a straw, and then right through there. You know, and I make fun of people wearing masks on my last podcast. So
I like how when I put this one up, it looks like it extends my eyebrow on the side.
Your face is very red. It looks like you're hot.
Well, I was laughing very hard because look at my
I was
eyebrow.
afraid you were suffocating in that thing. I'm suffocating in mine.
No, I can see, or well, seeing has nothing to do with breathing, but I could breathe just fine in mine. It's my lighting. My lighting is blue and red, so I always look red on one side and blue on the other. Or, you know.
You always just kind of look purple.
All right. that's Damn, this is a really cheap mask, by the way.
Yeah, mine was well, it just came with a package.
What?
It just came with a package. It's a VIP package. I get for the band. This band, Star Set. I was on VIP, and then if you see in VIP, they give you this sweet mask that you can like terrorize people in.
Did you say that yours came with a package?
It came in a package.
Well, everything comes in a package.
set with other things. I didn't buy it exclusively. Like I didn't go out and buy this mask. It came with other things. Is what I'm saying. I didn't pick this out. It came with VIP. So it was there, and I'm like, I'll take it. It's free. I might wear it on a stream with Vase one night.
You should.
And here we are.
Oh, and you did. That's great. So now that we're here and caught up, you can take your mask off if you want. We don't have to hide anymore. I don't think Fatal J's out to get us tonight.
My face is still kind of cold, but if you insist.
You do whatever makes you feel best, most comfortable. Oh, look at that though. I was about to say my mask was slimming. Yours was making it look like you were fat. And then you take them off, and it's like, look, I got these cheeks, and you're like,
my neck actually isn't wrinkly. It's hairy.
We were all thinking it. And when I say we, I mean all of us.
No, Hoff is still fit. He's still the same weight.
You're looking good. I imagine the holiday workout for you though.
Dude, I walked like 10 miles this week already at work, like up and down ladders and stairs and every whatnot. Dude, I get a workout every day, lifting shit. I can say shit, right?
I guess.
What do you tell Cobb?
You seem to be able to. Kappa.
No, but yeah, I just done a lot of walking recently.
No. Since you brought that Kappa thing up, my opinion on it, like right now, is if they're going to go after anyone, they're going to go after people, because it's what the whole thing is about like what the law pertains to is about information selling, aka advertising to children because you know that they're children. COPPA was created as to you're not allowed to give out information online, or you're not allowed to get that kind of information. One of the first people they ever sued under anything was some sort of cookie company, and it was because they asked for like your birthday, so you got a birthday cookie, but they're like, you're gathering information on people. YouTube and by Google, has been frankly like data mining tons of stuff for a long time. They recently got slammed with the biggest lawsuit that COPPA has ever been associated with. Then YouTube said, we're going to change how things work. They basically said, and again, remember, COPPA is about the selling of it. It's not about the content. It's not like, oh my gosh, they're seeing something that's R-rated. It has nothing to do with that. It's about, are you advertising to kids? Are your videos aimed at kids? You're trying to advertise for kids. But the whole thing is kind of like a sleight of hand, because who is, first of all, you and I, we don't have ads on our things. We're not monetized in any way. So far, we can't be penalized for anything, because nothing we could possibly have been done could have had an advertisement aimed at a child. We don't have ads. So if you do have ads, you should look out, certainly. If you don't, and you're not going to be in trouble of hitting that mark, I would say just sit back and watch. But here's the other thing, and I'll let you say it in just a second, but because I've been thinking about this a lot, because they're going to be going after, if they're going to go after anyone, they're going to go after high value targets. They literally talked about, though, YouTube content creators being fish in a barrel. YouTube doesn't care. They're passing the buck off. And they're the ones, by the way, like YouTube, when you sign up for ads or whatever, you're just agreeing to let YouTube put ads on your stuff, and they take part of the money. How is it they're going to start blaming the content? It's like, so, and my brother actually told me, he's like, hey, it might be time for some people to start getting off YouTube, because they're going to start coming after all kinds of animation. It's kind of ridiculous. What were you going to say?
No, I just want to ask you something, because I honestly don't know. So, say in our case, which I don't expect to be monetized for at least another 4 years the way my rate's going. Tracking down recently,
Well, that's ridiculous, dude. You know what's crazy? I clicked on your site today and I wasn't subscribed to you, and I was like, "What?"
No. Yeah, I had like 5 people unsubscribing a day, and I thought it was because of some stuff out of my podcast. But also, I don't believe that, because there was no negative comments. In fact, there were no comments or downloads on the video. I don't think people listened to it which I understand most people don't listen to me rant and ramble. That's fine. But I wanted to ask, in our case, hypothetically, if we were ever to get monetized, do they go back and put ads on these older videos?
I would say if we are ever
What
under,
kind of problems would that make?
if we're ever under threat of getting monetized, and frankly, even before, I'm going to go through all my videos before January 1st, because that's when it all goes into effect. I'm going to do it at some point after Christmas, before January 1st. I might tag all of my videos as for kids, because here's the thing. You could have, because the for kids tag, it doesn't matter whether what you have is intended for kids or not. That's the weird thing about it. It's about, do you have ads on this? Could it be perceived as being something for kids? And that's why everyone's freaking out about it, because it's so vague, it's so general. I signed a petition.
But also, there was like kind of that thing where like they have all these kids like videos like with any kids in the title or whatever, like pedophiles were like finding them and saying weird shit in the comments, you know. That was kind of part of it, I think.
That is something else entirely, actually. Well, not entirely. This does have to do with child actors and stuff like that. But here's the thing.
Make it a safer place for kids, because kids are what ask the parents to buy shit, you know, and that's how they sell stuff.
And that is how they sell stuff. And there's a whole YouTube kids section. So, frankly, a lot of this is bullcrap. A lot of people are pissed off about this because it's like YouTube passing the buck off and saying, well, let's just pass off. Not only will we not give like the content creators, you know, anything on those, but then even if they're trying to follow other rules, if they happen to get caught by someone who has no idea what, you know, because I saw something that looked like a cartoon that could be intended for children, bam, 44,000 per video lawsuit. That's, people have hundreds of videos. That's a good way to make millions. They're looking to make money though. Here's the thing. They're not going to sue someone that doesn't have money. That's the other thing. Like, they're not going to come after people that don't have money.
I say I'm going to roll with that. I'm going to be the next Mr. Rogers and clean up. That's my strategy here.
Oh, I'm definitely going through. But here's the thing. I just started getting back into it. Well, you're not entirely, like, I'm going, like my Treasure Planet video. I might have even talked to you about this before, but like it has the F word in it. It's animation though. It could be perceived as for kids. Again, though, I don't have ads yet. So how can I be targeting children to sell to them without even trying to sell anything?
You're not even targeting children either.
Exactly. They are the wording is vague, and that's why so many people are concerned. And I get what you're saying. You're fucking funny as hell. But
you gotta play the game, you know.
I'm kidding. We don't really have, I wouldn't say anything to worry about as far as that's concerned. You and I, anyone that's monetized, I'd say maybe, but really it's only people that are like with tons of viewers. They're going to be trying to make an impact. They're going to be trying to make money with whatever sort of lawsuits they do. And I wouldn't be surprised if this becomes a big legal fight coming up. But again, I don't see it concerning anyone on our level.
No, of course not. I mean, I did get a damn copyright strike recently there. That sucked.
That's something else, though. That's not. And what was it for? What the hell was that?
Honestly, because this band I'm promoting right here,
Sarsa.
I did a video on them. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't even them that got me, because there's a ton of their videos on there and their company wasn't affiliated with it. And I looked up the company and they've been around way longer than this band had. It's because I believe they did a Led Zeppelin cover and I recorded it and put it online. And I'm pretty sure because Led Zeppelin are really, you know how they are.
You got a copyright strike for it?
A strike for it, not a warning. Everything else I ever got was just a warning. I'm fine with that.
I've never had a strike before.
Leave it up, but no, they took the video down and gave me a strike, and I got like a month and a half left on that. I mean, I can get 2 more strikes, but I'm not trying to. You know?
No. That's why I always get freaked out when I hear about things like that. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I've done way worse stuff. Like I'm 90% sure.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm like 90% sure that it was Led Zeppelin, because like I said, I looked up the company. It was like called Rico or something like that. And Starset weren't affiliated with them. And the like I said, there's a ton of other YouTube videos of Starset online.
Yeah, and there's tons of,
and like I think they enjoy that because it's like free promotion, you know.
absolutely.
And they always do really well. So I'm like positive because I even did a video of Coheed and Cambria, and it's still up. That one I did back in February, I believe it was. I did a whole video on that. It's the same thing. A little documentary I did about my show like experience, and it's still up. And they're a way bigger band than Starset, like way bigger. So I'm positive it was Led Zeppelin.
Must
I'm
have
pretty
been.
sure it was Led Zeppelin.
Or someone
God
affiliated with
damn
them
you,
who makes money
Robert
off of
Plant.
it.
God damn Robert Plant, dude. That old snake Jimmy Page snaking me out of my video. I don't even care. Like I said, and you agree, I think, but I don't even care if they put the little thing at the bottom. Just leave my video up, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, like
Yeah,
I don't
the
mind.
money.
Yeah, take the money. That's why I don't mind. I've never minded copyright warnings, and I've always been concerned when I hear about people getting strikes. I'm like, well, where do you draw the line? Like, why is it suddenly like, where's the line between like, I'll just take whatever money you make from this, and like, I'm gonna sue you for using that? It's like, why? Who? What? For like live things, I kind of understand, but anything that's already happened, unless it's like pay-per-view and it's like recent, I get pirating, I get that, I get that entirely. But if it's something that's like older, or you know, that someone just happens to have their claws into, it's like anytime anyone uses it, I get money. It's like, God, it should be public domain by now. But they changed all those laws because Disney's got their claws in everything, and they don't want anything to be public domain because they want to own everyone's everything forever. But hey,
you know what Disney did have their claws in? Terminator Salvation, greatest movie of all time. Cheers.
Greatest movie of all time?
All time.
Okay, well, I'm
Good
sure at some
you.
point. Hey, look,
at some
point, we're gonna talk about that.
I know.
It's not now. Right now.
Right reference.
It yes.
Christian Bale. Yeah, when he had the fit. Go ahead. I know. I messed up your segue. I'm an a-hole.
Well, right now, I figured we just get to talking about these trailers. Because that's what we came here to talk about. And
yeah, I was in a lot of trailers today, actually. There were tons of stuff, dude. And they're all movie trailers. Okay. I thought we were talking about my job, where I'm literally in the back of semi-trailers every day.
Trailer this, trailer that. Which one do you prefer?
What do you mean? Oh, between the two we're
You say
about?
trailer, and I say trailer. They sound the same, but they're not. It's a bad song.
Is it a real song?
No, it's like you say tomato, I say tomato.
Oh.
Except trailer isn't pronounced differently, but you still are talking about different things. I made a bad joke with a good reference.
I love in Saturday Night Live when Christopher Walken was hosting and like he was doing the song at the beginning. Like, I say tomato, you say tomato.
Tomato. It's like, no, it's tomato. It's like, all right, fine, Jimmy. You say tomato, I say tomato. Make up your mind, Jimmy. I love that one too. Anyway, so there's trailers. I meant the movie trailers of Wonder Woman and Ghostbusters. Have you seen them both?
Yes, sir.
Well, then I'll leave it up to you. Guest's choice. Guest's choice. It's your choice as the guest. Which one you want to talk about first?
Oh, dude. I think that we should discuss Wonder Woman first.
Excellent.
And save because I can go on about Ghostbusters, not a lot.
Oh, you can? I have questions about Wonder. I'll let you talk about it first, though, because you know how I am. You go. Tell me about Wonder Woman.
Okay, let me tell you first and foremost. I'm not an expert on DC or Wonder Woman or anything like that at all. So I'm kind of like an outsider looking. I'm like a casual Star Wars fan. I'm not though. You know, I'm a diehard Star Wars fan. But
sure.
Me, when it comes to Wonder Woman, like I don't know exactly what's supposed to be right and what's supposed to be wrong when it comes to this. I will say this though, I liked what I saw a lot.
I liked what I saw too, and I just want to back you up in saying that, like, when it comes to anything comics, I've looked up the lore. I haven't necessarily read all the comics. I've looked up a lot of lore. I've read a lot of lore. I know what happens in a lot of comics. I haven't necessarily read a lot of them. But even before, like, aside from that, as far as DC goes, I've watched a lot of their animated stuff. I really like their animated stuff, like their animated movies, the stuff they've been doing on the side.
I'm not entirely clueless, but like I don't know, like I'm not as proficient as I am in other areas like Star Wars or
Sure.
things like that.
Well, was there anything that like about this that like, I mean, like, what did you think? Like, did the trailer be like?
I feel like there's some references I'm missing. Like I don't know who these villains are. Like I don't know who.
Me
Kristen
neither. Oh, I
Wiig
don't know. I don't know.
I don't know who that guy is with the hairdo. I've seen his face before. I don't know the actor's name. I can't remember. He looks like a poor man's Jeremy Renner, who isn't in shape anymore. But anyways, that's just my opinion. I've seen the guy before. I've seen him. I just can't put my finger on it.
Oh yeah, I can't remember his name. Oh wait, no, Chris Pine.
No, not
he's
Chris
not the
Pine.
enemy. He's the good guy. Yes, that he's playing Steve Trevor, which also Steve Trevor, a man out of time, named Steve, Captain America, Steve, man out of time.
And they both have last names that could be first names.
I'm actually planning on making using the music from the Wonder Woman trailer to make a spliced together Captain America trailer. I just don't know what I'm going to title it, but so it's like the music.
New World, Blue Monday. Yeah.
But then he's like fighting like in the Marvel universe, and it's all about.
I love that song, by the way. I love 80s. I love New Wave from the 80s. I love Safety Dance. Safety Dance.
That dance wasn't as safe as everyone said.
No, that's a lot of eyes get poked out there. Tall people and short, And there were a lot of midgets, little people in that video. The risk was high.
Woof.
Oh yeah, I like that old stuff. So this song was actually one of my favorite parts of that. And I know it's been done before with Guardians of the Galaxy and whatnot. We've seen this before, but at the same time, it's working for this. I think it's pardon me, but I think it makes it a little bit even sexier, because I'm not gonna lie, Gal Gadot, good looking lady. Excellent. There.
I'm glad you got into that.
Showing a little bit of sex appeal in a superhero movie, unlike Captain Marvel, where she's in a jumpsuit. And I'm not saying I want to see Brie Larson disrobed. I'm not saying that at all, thank God. But I'm just saying I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit of sex appeal in some of my movies nowadays. It's been a while.
Well, here's the difference. Captain Marvel is saying, "How dare you try to sexualize me?"
Absolutely.
And then Wonder Woman is just effortlessly gorgeous. She has a lasso that she can tie you up with and make you tell the truth. And I'm still like, can I get tied up by that?
Yeah, give me
like I could Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel. I don't ever want to get out of here. Wonder Woman, like. And watching that trailer, was there at any point like you were just like, she's a badass?
Absolutely, dude. Long legs for days. I'm not trying to sit here and just drool over her. She is a great actress, and I think she looks badass in this movie. I think she has the strong female appeal that people are looking for, much like Alita, but not Captain Marvel or Rey.
Well, it doesn't.
There's a huge difference between those kinds of characters.
Well, because and also that's exactly right. You're absolutely right. And here's the difference: she has a male counterpart who, not only that's part of what makes her vulnerable. Is this guy, and he's not a weak guy by any means. We know that he's a strong, but he's still just a man, and she's a goddess, and there's nothing like wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like. In Captain Marvel, she still has to like prove that she's better than every single male character, no matter what. who does she fall in love
Dude,
with? It's got to
Helen,
be like a woman. You know what I mean? Like this is showing that like your vulnerabilities can be the people that you care about, and it doesn't matter who you are or what. Hey, you're sexy and a badass, and you can pull off a gown or you can pull off a short skirt, and then you can go kick out, or you can do whatever you want. Nice, go for it.
to compare to another recent DC movie that I really enjoyed, Aquaman. Like Aquaman and what's in Mara, they were pretty much equals throughout the movie. They were pretty badass.
I enjoyed that
both,
movie.
Appealed to both genders as well, because I think both of them are pretty attractive people. No homeowners, but Jason Momoa, dude. If I could pick to be any guy in the world, I'd want to be that handsome motherfucker for right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, and
like
that's how in the
got it going on. You know?
Oh, definitely. No, I've seen just too many women.
I know Amber Heard,
and like,
Depp,
isn't that?
I can put it past her.
That just raises up another level of that hypocrisy, though, of like, if people are complaining about women superheroes or whatever being sexualized, I'm like, okay, look at Troy, where, and then this isn't superheroes, but I'm just saying, like, if you think it's something new, if you think women being sexualized is something new, guess what? Men have also been sexualized this entire time, right alongside them. Men are also held up to standards of having six packs and what is an ideal man supposed to look like? What is Thor supposed to look like? What is Captain America supposed to look like? Even Tony Stark, who's the brains, what is he still is in great shape. And if you go back, like other stuff, what is in Troy? Who is the most beautiful character in Troy? It's not the chick that everyone fights at. It's freaking Brad Pitt, who's in the best shape of his life in that movie.
That's also a great
some homo probably there, but
that's a great why I like what they did with Thor in Endgame. And like, I'm not trying to go SJW, but I thought it was pretty
you shouldn't. And you're right to say that. Hey, here's why. And it's hilarious. Well, not hilarious. It's very interesting. You just said, I don't want to go SJW to say that I liked Fat Thor. But that's the thing. Do you like Fat Thor because he got fat, or do you like the story behind like how it happened and what the end result was? Because how he got fat was him becoming incredibly depressed and withdrawing.
It was totally believable, man. Totally believable.
And it wasn't celebrating. It was not celebrating him being fat.
No, but I have to admit, though, I did laugh at a couple of jokes.
Sure.
Yes. But I've seen people over time do that, just kind of get into a hole, and next thing you know, they're look like a different person or whatever.
I've done this.
But I've done it in my insides. I felt like that. You know what I mean?
Sure. And that's just as important, though. That's just a physical representation of it.
But yeah, I really like that they kind of took someone who was great and took him down a peg, and he had to learn to deal with that, and that was super interesting to me. And also, you feel bad for him because if you've watched all the movies leading up, all the crap he's gone through. And I know Rocket gives him shit about that, but still, you gotta. Dude lost everything. So
I absolutely agree with you, and I really
enjoyed that. That's one of my favorite storylines in the movie. But go ahead.
Me too. And here's why. Ragnarok, he loses everything, and in that one he laughs through almost all of it. And then and honestly, when I saw that, I was like, gosh, that it kind of pissed me off how humorous it was. I enjoyed the movie. I was like, gosh, it's like he didn't even care that he lost everything. And then Infinity War and all that rolled around, and I was like, oh, okay. And when Rocket starts talking to him and you actually see him kind of be losing it, and then Endgame, where he actually cuts Thanos' the head off and then goes and gets depressed. I'm like, okay, we have really had some character evolution here from a character that I did not expect to have character evolution. And that character evolution is he gets depressed. He is literally the strongest Avenger is how he thinks of himself, even in Ragnarok.
Especially surprising given the first two movies, he didn't have much emotional, kind of variation.
And that's why he liked
not getting killed, but that's what's interesting to me. They took a character that was kind of bland and they really turned him into something great. I believe something you can relate to.
And
I think that's. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I think that's what's important about a lot of superheroes is trying to see the humanity in him. With Thor, he's so much of a god, you couldn't really see the human in him until now, and that's why it's important to me to see that side. because it's like, oh yeah, I can relate to him now a little bit. You know, kind of. I feel what he's feeling, or I felt what he's feeling. So
I want to say that just again, like it wasn't. I saw some people being like, "Fat Thor, look, we're not body shaming anymore," and I was like, "How did he get to be Fat Thor? He withdrew into himself, was incredibly depressed, and wasn't doing what he was supposed to do. This is not celebrating that body type. It is saying, look, we can have like you need to take. It's about self psychology and." And then he finds out I am still worthy. Of course you are. Just because you sat back and did whatever for however long doesn't mean that you can't still get up and
exactly,
fight
man.
whenever you need to.
Dude,
And
on top of that,
I wanted to say the other thing was when you talked about mythology, you were like, yes, because superheroes are the new mythology. Throughout time, humans learn from stories. It's just a fact. We learn from stories like what is morality, what is the right thing to do, what's the wrong thing to do. Now religion is out, dude. Nobody likes religion right now. It's in the movies, it's in superhero things, it's in comics, it's in things like that, things that inspire people to live up to something, to be better than, and shows them what to fear and what not to be. Like when people be like, you shouldn't be idolizing the Joker. It's like, first of all, I can recognize an amazing character. I can love that character. I can identify with that character. And I can also want to be nothing like that character. And I can also reluctantly realize how I am.
I idolize Jabba the Hutt, but I don't want to be like him.
Don't say you idolize him.
Okay, and that's the wrong term, but you know what I mean. I adore the character.
Yeah, I do. And I'm sorry for saying that. That's the type of thing. It's like, I literally saw this news like, anyone who idolizes these people is an idiot. And it had like Rick from Rick and Morty, Scarface, somebody else, and there was like two other villains. And I was like, I can totally love, empathize, understand, identify, and everything with those characters. But you're right to say I shouldn't idolize them, and I don't. Because like an idol is something that you worship. It's something that you
I think it's on them for putting that burden on you or anyone else who really just
it was just a meme. But like a lot of, you know how a lot of people be like, if you just say something like oh, I like Rick and Morty, they're like, oh, you're one of those. It's like,
yeah. I mean, I don't like Rick and Morty.
But you know what I mean, right? It's like, but you're one of those. It's like, oh, you just figured out everything about me without knowing anything about me other than I like Rick and Morty.
I saw the Pickle Rick episode and it was pretty funny. I don't know if I don't watch a lot of cartoons. I'm not saying it's grown up to watch cartoons. I just don't.
You also don't judge someone by whether or not they like one cartoon.
No, not at all.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't want everyone to like everything I like, dude.
That's the point. That's the point.
Yeah. Like, of course I don't, man. Like, I don't judge people for liking The Last Jedi as long as they're not for the wrong reasons. You know, if they just like the movie, who am I to say like you're wrong? Yeah, if you like it, like it. But I think there's a lot of flaws. I know it's been said a million times. I'm just repeating rhetoric here. I understand that, but it's the absolute truth, and that's the way I feel about pretty much anything. I don't like football, but I understand. Actually, I still understand why people like football. I'm trying to.
People like what people like, but people get passionate about.
I'm not going to throw a fit and put like. You ever been on Facebook and like someone who's anti-sports or like, oh, sports ball on tonight? Like, I'm not going to do that, you know, like because I like hockey. Who am I to judge that? I'm sorry, man.
You're right.
I'm just saying. I don't like everything, but as long as you're not an asshole.
One of the first videos I ever made was no one hates Star Wars like Star Wars fans. And then I just went on to explain that to be passionate about something, you have to know that thing. If you see people getting worked up about something, it's probably because they have a lot invested in it. You know, when you see sports fans in a sports arena freaking out about a bad call, do you go, you dummies, why are you freaking out about that? And they'd be like, also, a bad call, you dumbass. Like,
also, a lot of sports fans bet and gamble, so I'll put that out there too. They have money on the line. But anyways, I know the point you're getting at.
Anyway, I think Wonder Woman looks good.
Me too, man.
One of the concerns I wanted to bring up was 1984.
Yeah, it's funny that the title. I agree with that.
No one seems to be
really,
talking about that.
I thought it was obvious.
Me too. But also, no one seems to, and I don't know who the villain is, and I don't know what the thing is. But she also literally, one of the things that does happen in the trailer is she takes her tiara off, her awesome badass crown, and chucks it like a boomerang, and it knocks out several cameras. 1984. Do you think that was randomly picked? Do you think it just randomly?
No, dude, I know.
1984.
I get
That's the best year in the 80s. Like, no.
I get it. See, I got the trailer right now. There are a few subjects I do want to get into. Let's really get into this for a minute, and then we'll go on to Ghostbusters.
Let's do it.
There were a few things I wanted to bring up. First of all, I'm not a huge Kristen Wiig fan. I don't think she's that funny, personally.
I think she's fine. I think she's fine. She's in a lot of different stuff. She was in Knocked Up and like stuff back in the day. She has a specific character that she always plays.
What I was going to say is, is it ironic or is it coincidental that she shows up in a trailer at the same time as the new Ghostbusters movie? Yeah,
it's just coincidental because they want to.
I don't know, man. I'm a conspiracy guy, but let's say it is coincidental.
It is.
First of all, I don't know why they bring her character in this trailer because they don't show her paying off anywhere in it. She starts out frumpy, right? And then they just show her in a dress later, and that's it. Like, we don't see her show up ever, and I don't know why she's... I don't know what her character is supposed to be doing in this. I don't know who she is. I don't know if she's, like, part of Wonder Woman lore.
Well,
I'm confused.
This is supposed to be a teaser trailer. Frankly, I think they gave a lot away. A lot of the action stuff with Wonder Woman away, but what they didn't give away was what the actual enemy, what she actually is fighting, and who.
That's what I'm saying.
Who again? Yeah, it's a teaser trailer, though. You're not supposed to know everything from the trailers.
No, I understand that they didn't show like Obadiah Stane as Ironmonger.
But here's the thing: you know who she is? Do you know who she is playing?
No, that's what I was asking.
Do you want to know?
I don't know the lore. Yes,
she's playing Cheetah.
It's
literally a person that like gets DNA combined with like a cheetah and becomes like this crazy cheetah person. That's one of like like crazy. As far as I know, I could be totally wrong on that. Like that's the last thing I remember hearing. They definitely didn't pay that off in the trailer in any way, I don't think. But that's like who she's.
That's what I'm saying.
And obviously, there's going to be that's going to be a side effect, I think, of this other guy who's clearly in charge. And also, did you hear hearkening? Oh, I wanted to say that earlier. Do you remember in the trailer at the part where he's like, everything is great. We live in the future. And I was just thinking to myself, everything is achievable through technology. And I was like, which is what Tony Stark's dad was saying in his...
And also relates back to 1984. And also this band I listened to, Starset, they're very big into like the conspiracy stuff like that and like Big Brother watching and being ruled and everyone being brainwashed and computer controlled. But I want to get specific on a few more things about this Kristen Wiig stuff here because I think it's, I don't know, man, it's bothering me. First of all, she says that she asked Wonder Woman if she's ever been in love, right? And she says, I don't even remember what Wonder Woman says. I can watch
a long
it right
time
now,
ago.
actually. Long time ago, yeah, with old Steve Trevor's there. And she says, have you? And she's like, yeah, all the time. I think she's in love with Wonder Woman.
Could be.
Pretty sure Kristen Wiig in real life, she's a lesbian, right? Or no, am I wrong?
Well, that should have nothing to do with the movie, and I'm not sure.
Hey, Google, is Kristen Wiig a lesbian?
I don't understand.
Useless. For me, anyway. It's good for the FBI.
I don't think... I have no idea if she's a lesbian or what her sexual orientation is.
They have a girl in the movie. But I'm just saying, I didn't know if she's trying to do that. I don't know. I'm trying to see the SJW aspect.
I mean, you can do infatuation and stuff. You shouldn't try to be seeing that stuff, in my opinion. If it jumps out, it jumps out. But if you start looking for it, then you can find, like, when you go looking for trouble, you'll find it, man. If you want to start,
because this is our first impressions, man. I'm not trying to get snaked again. That's all I'm saying. I'm very cautious nowadays because one time they'll show you one trailer and then they'll show you two different things.
I understand. I've been fooled by trailers before.
I just on my guard right now,
but
man.
this isn't. I mean, like, then again, no, like, think about when you see a trailer for something like Ghostbusters 2016. And when you see that, you just vomit. This, at the very least, is doing an amazing job of hiding something horrible. If there's something horribly found, I will be in the theater to vomit there and figure it out. But I think it looks good.
But I agree. I'm going into it with I'm just being cautious. The first one was good.
Yeah, the first one was great. They went from freaking World War I with the trench warfare, and she's jumping out, blamming. And this one, she's lassoing lightning bolts and stuff. And if this is just a teaser, I don't know what's going on in between or who she's even fighting. She has some sort of crazy armor.
Also, I wanted to get to that in a moment.
And what are they going to do with this DCEU timeline? What the frick is happening there?
No idea.
Like, they're making this movie because it's gonna be, but like what's the future of past
so
this?
far back that it's not gonna matter. I did want to mention also, are you a Stranger Things fan?
I haven't watched the newest season, actually.
The newest season has this mall that looks just like the mall in the Wonder Woman trailer, and then also the Ghostbusters movie has Finn Wolfhard in it, who is from Stranger Things. They're really going with a lot of same themes. I think Hollywood is where I was getting at.
Well, I can also show you. I can show you a ton of TV shows that take place on the exact same street, like Seinfeld as How I Met Your Mother as they have another one on Psych. They use the same. I mean, people use the same sets for different things. It's not. Again, this is something that if you really start looking for now, Finn Wolf, whatever his name is, in Ghostbusters, yeah, him being in Ghostbusters and Stranger Things, that's not that very much is a coincidence. A mall in Wonder Woman is a bit of a stretch.
No, I know it's big,
but Finn Wolf,
like
whatever, he's definitely been typecasted into. I literally saw someone tweet, they were like, "Can we just stop putting him in exact same character?"
I read an interview with him recently where he said he went to audition for it and he thought there's no way he was going to get the role because they're just going to look at it and be like, "Oh yeah, it's a Stranger Things kid and he already wore the costume," or whatever.
They wanted that,
but they said, I guess they liked. I'm happy he's in it.
Oh yeah, really. No problem with him.
He's not my favorite character in Stranger Things by any means.
And it doesn't look like he's like one of the.
I think he's a decent kid.
Yeah, I don't think he was one of them. It doesn't look like he's one of the main characters in this either. Like,
but maybe let's get to Wonder Woman. We'll get to Ghostbusters.
Okay. Do you have any idea who the businessman is who's promising a better future for everyone and a better tomorrow?
Who's the actor? That's who I want to know.
I don't even know. Off the top of my head, I don't know.
He looks very familiar. But one thing I want to say, the Wonder Woman costume is very much more colorful than it seemed to be in the first movie.
You say colorful?
Yeah, it looks like it's much brighter.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
There was an interview with Chris Pine one time where he's like, "I don't like these movies with colorful superheroes in them. They're for children." And I'm like, "Well, dude, you're in a bunch of them, or you're at least in the universe."
He was in all the Star Trek movies, and they were all bright and lens flaring as god awful nonsense as crap. So he has nothing to talk about.
I do like his character in these movies, though. I will say that I do like his character. How do you think he comes back?
I have no idea. I don't know what's going on. That's what I'd say. They mention things like you can have whatever you want. Wouldn't you like that? And then like what apparently she wants is maybe him. So maybe like if I had to guess off the top of my head, then she's again going to have to like give him up or something in order to set things right. Like I don't know how else, because it's like if the thing is the ultimate temptation and her temptation is doing anything other than like what's ultimately right, because her whole thing is like, I have to defend against. I'm the ultimate. She's blunt. I think it's hilarious. I love it. Like she doesn't take shit from people. She's powerful. It's great. I love the misunderstandings and stuff. Yeah, it's not arrogant. Yeah, that's why it works. That's why it's great. Like she's aware of her power. Like, you know what I mean? Yes. And
she doesn't it to be superior, like,
and she's not afraid to be vulnerable. Like she's not afraid to be attractive. because she also knows she can like kill people in an instant. So maybe that's every woman should just carry a gun. So you can just kill anyone in an instant.
I'll say this trailer does make me super excited to see the movie there.
It looks
just
great.
An exciting trailer. It's an exciting trailer. There's a lot going on. I don't think it gives away too much. I don't personally. I don't think there's I'm lost in it. I have more questions.
Well, there's a lot, but there's definitely I mean, there's a lot of like we know that she's going to be doing certain. Well, I guess it's kind of true. When we go on to talk about the Ghostbusters trailer, I think that one's much more of a teaser trailer. This one, I think, told us like it gave us a lot more of the like this just showed us. I feel maybe, hopefully, I'm wrong, but I feel like we saw some of the end scenes of Wonder Woman in this first teaser trailer, or near end. We don't know what bullet she's blocking in that armor, or like, or maybe that's a flashback. Who knows? We don't know. I don't know. I'm worried that they gave away way too much, but hopefully they didn't. I was enthralled by it, and when you say it was a good trailer, you're absolutely correct because, the timing and the like that music. Every time there was like bum 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 bum. They matched up the bullet shots with it. They matched up the timing of things with it. But like when I was doing my reaction video to it, and the bullet flew up like into the air. I like literally did it in time with her and like flung the thing away because the rest of the time I was like kind of dancing. So I was like dun 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 dun, and that's the freaking music that it uses. Dun 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 dun. Everything is art. That's just a trash can.
The one thing I did want to bring up, I had to remember to bring this up because it was a big deal to me. I enjoy a good truck flip in a movie. If it's done well. And here in this trailer, we get a decent truck flip. It's not as good as the one in the Dark Knight. Around 152 in the trailer, we see a hell of a truck flip. And yeah, that thing flips like at least twice in the air. It's a huge truck. Boxes are flying out. I love a good truck flip. What about you?
I do as well, but that's
like Terminator. You had the Dark Knight. They did it in real. Like,
hey, here's one that's gonna blow your freaking brain. X-Men 3. Magneto, one of the best truck flips ever. Is he literally just like stops the cat and it? Oh my gosh!
I've only seen that movie like once.
I've watched it a couple times just because I love X-Men, but that's a dynamite truck flip.
I saw it.
Hey,
I know people do hate it, but I didn't think it was that bad.
Was it even that movie? No, it might have been. Anyway, there's Magneto has a dynamite truck flip at some point. I mean, how could he not? He does tons of stuff all the time.
Dude,
did you see the Phoenix movie?
No, hell no, I'm not gonna watch that.
No,
I don't like anything. I really don't like most of the X-Men movies. Like besides Logan, I really don't like him that much. Now I just lost my train of thought. There's something I was gonna say. I can't remember. Dude, that sucks. It's something I wanted to. Hopefully it comes back.
Sorry, let's throw it to the chat.
Dude, okay, it just came back. Deadpool. You were in the Deadpool mask earlier, right?
I was.
I started playing this game the other night because it's on Xbox Game Pass, called Devil May Cry 5. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
The opening to that game is a straight rip-off of the opening credits of Deadpool. Where there's a car wreck. After. Yeah, it just came out like last year when Deadpool came out like 4 or 5 years
With the truck rolling over and the...
No, it's like a big car crash. The whole thing was the camera like in slow motion and everything was like still in the air. And they literally had the credits going by. They're literally like almost shot for shot like Deadpool. There's no way the people who made that weren't inspired by it, is all I'm saying. It was so cool. It looked cool in the game. I enjoyed it, but
yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
Just saying, I know where the idea came from. I see the homage.
Well, it's also, and that's also Deadpool paying homage to other things because it's making fun of like those sort of grandiose action sequences that you see in slow motion. They're like literally taking that opportunity to not only make fun of that sort of thing, they're also making fun of like literally the credits are making fun of the people in the credits. Like the credits themselves are a joke, and then like everything that's happening in slow motion is also Deadpool just like rubbing his nuts on people's faces and like crazy stuff, like kicking him in the face and setting him on fire. It's a perfect. That's why I love Deadpool. That's why I love that movie. That's Deadpool 2 is great. That's why I'm terrified about Deadpool 3 because now Disney owns it. And please let Ryan Reynolds do whatever he wants to do. Let Ryan Reynolds do whatever he wants to do with Deadpool.
I heard recently on this podcast called Weekly Planet that they're actually considering making Venom rated R because Joker did so well.
They should, and Sony can do whatever it wants because anything you can do. Look, Disney is now owning a lot of stuff. They can either decide to like make their stuff have a more variety in what they're providing, as in give us R-rated superhero movies like people want, or they don't do that. If they don't do that, Sony's definitely going to do that. Because
I'm not saying every superhero movie has to be rated R, but it's nice to get like a crazy one every now and then, you know?
You can have superhero movies rated G. You know, there's a spec. You can have a superhero movie rated anything. Like people try to make it so it's like everything we do has to be available for like the widest audience possible. And it was like, oh, the Joker was rated R and it made over $1 billion on a $35 million budget. You need to have a good story. People are obsessed.
Yeah, tell me. That's the proof's in the pudding, or however they say it. I don't know, that's an old-fashioned phrase, but like it's right here. Like that movie pissed off all of the media and the SJWs and everything. Made over $1 billion. It was on a very tiny budget, so that movie actually made a ton of money.
Now, what is that? When you hear that movie made that much money, and when you say in the same sentence it pissed off all the SJWs, da 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 da, and it still made that much money. So it's like, who, when we talk about Star Wars, is the vocal minority?
Oh, we own that. But it's who screams the loudest.
But it's now, and everyone. But the thing is, and that's the thing. They find these like people on Twitter, and they're like, look, here's people saying this stuff on Twitter, and it's like 5 people, and then it's like, oh yeah, why are you ignoring the massive group of other people? It's like, oh well, they're just a small minority. They have nothing to do with it. Oh crap! But we already know that. We're talking about Ghostbusters now. We're done with Wonder Woman. I still wonder who the main villain is, but
yeah, I mean, I heard Kristen Wiig was going to be one of the villains previously.
But when I see Wonder Woman lassoing lightning and riding the storm, I think that's badass. But at the same time, I'm like, how do I then believe some sort of cheetah woman is going to be a match for her? And that's kind of what I'm interested to find out, if that's going to happen.
Well, I think that's the intrigue of a lot of superhero movies, though. Like, who can match them, you know? And then a lot of them fail. That's why Thanos was so popular, is because like he won. Essentially,
that's why Vader was so popular. Yes.
And in the end, I still feel Thanos won because he still caused havoc and destruction, regardless of people getting brought back. He still made a huge impact. Not to get too deep into that because we are going to get the news trailer, but yeah, I just think the villain's important, and I didn't learn enough about that in it. That's why I don't think that it gave too much away. I really have no idea what's going on in this movie from the trailer, but I do know that the trailer is super fun to watch. It's exciting. I like what I'm seeing. I love that scene where they're in the plane and the fireworks are going off. Like, beautiful. I'm a man who enjoys good cinematography. I'm not gonna lie. I love a shot that's seen, a picture framed. You know, just a nice painting in a movie. Like the whole movie 300, pretty much.
No, I know what you mean. When that movie came out, I was like, whoa.
Look at an oil painting.
It was very stylized. Yeah, every scene they used. And again, that was something that utilized a lot of the slow motion. But it's a great effect, I think. Now, is it like nuanced? No.
No,
it's a fun movie. Like
if you're hiring,
that's not what you were looking for. Yeah,
nuance. Not looking for nuance. No.
And that's the thing. Like, you know, people are like, oh, you like 300? It's like, yeah, I enjoyed watching it.
I've seen it.
Does that offend you?
I did like watching it though. Yeah. It's not like my favorite movie. I have a
I
poster
like,
that says "Make
frankly,
Me Dine in Hell" on my wall, but you know, it was a decent movie.
I like Troy better than 300.
See, I saw that in high school, and I took like my first girlfriend to that, and we just made out the whole time, as I didn't see any of it. And then they showed it in high school during a history class, because that's how I was brought. You know, it's how I was educated out in rural Ohio. Is they just showed you Mel Gibson movies and movies that were supposedly based on history, like Troy. So I have a really bad education. But anyways, I digress. We watched it in there, but I had really bad allergies because I live out in the country, so I was always on medicine, and I fell asleep during it, like every day we watched it. So yeah, I've never seen Troy, really. Long story short.
Did you watch Lord of the Rings? Do you like Lord of the Rings? Are you
serious?
I know that we've talked about this before, but when you say like I fell asleep during Troy, I can never be sure. How did you fall asleep during Troy?
I just told you I was on medicine because I have allergies. I took Claritin and it was drowsy medicine, and I'd fall asleep in any class after that shit. I was always falling asleep.
It was R-rated murder. And lots of it. And a great soundtrack. And A-list actors. That being said, you were on medication.
Yeah, man. I was falling asleep all
Did
day.
you ever watch the original Ghostbusters? We're talking about the Ghostbusters trailer now.
Is that a real question? Who do you think I am?
Did you watch the 2016 Ghostbusters?
Yes.
I didn't. What'd you think? Did you watch the Ghostbusters 2? I'll just get that out of the way. I'm saying this for the audience.
Okay, I'm sorry. Audience,
There's
yes, I'm
here.
sorry. Oh yeah, I forgot we were not just talking to each other at this point. Yeah.
We kind of are, but it's fine.
I'm a huge Ghostbusters fan. Like, really big Ghostbusters fan. I've been, like, my entire life. I love the movies since I was a young child. Definitely even before Star Wars. One could say I'm a bigger Ghostbusters fan. I just don't have as much shit around my house that has the logo on it. But yeah, I literally watch Ghostbusters 1 at least 3 times a year, every year. It's a movie I can just put on anytime. You know what I mean? Like, you have these movies where, like, I don't want to watch that. I love that movie, but I don't want to watch it right now. You say Ghostbusters, I'm like, right now. Anytime. Hands down in my top 5. I'd say, like, with Star Wars, Back to the Future, and I'd put that up there with it, you know? Huge Ghostbusters fan. And yes, I Ghostbusters 2, I enjoy, but I don't have the same love for it as the first one. I don't think it's a bad movie by any means. I think it's a movie, and I enjoy watching it. I've seen that one a million times as well. But I think the original was just so, like I was talking earlier, I love cinematography. I think the movie has some of the best ever, in my opinion. But if you want to get to 2016, I can give you my opinion on that. Well,
I actually am curious because I want to hear about 2016 because I want to hear your opinion on that because I never saw it. And because I enjoyed this new trailer and I want to get to talking about that, but just because consider me completely ignorant of the 2016 movie, other than it's a like vague. I know that it existed. I don't even think I watched the trailer for that. I just saw that like who was in. I was just like, this is a
okay. Let me tell you this.
This is.
I'm gonna say some very controversial things right now.
I want you to say them because I don't know. I haven't seen it. I'm ignorant. I trust you. Tell me.
I went into it with a certain mindset. I started seeing it as a different thing than what it was and what other people were perceiving. So give me a chance. Hear me out, all right? So I knew all the controversy around it. I didn't go to the theaters and see it. I didn't even, let me say I Jack Sparrowed. Sometimes you gotta. And because I didn't want to pay to see it. You know, I've heard all the reviews and everything. But anyways, and no, it wasn't worth paying for. But regardless, I didn't hate the movie like other people did. I hate it for what it stood for. But at the same time, I saw this movie so much as a Weird Al Yankovic parody of Ghostbusters in an SNL kind of way that it didn't even. To me, the movie was never going to be taken seriously.
Basically,
And
what it was, and what from what I saw, it was like it's all SNL actors. Now, again, what was the original? Oh, a bunch of It's like, but go on.
And let me say, a lot of people like maybe just sometimes I like dumb humor because I mean I do like a lot of great comedians and that's my favorite stuff. But every now and then you like some dumb humor. If you like.
Sure.
The humor in this, some of it did like I was kind of like but some of the jokes were not bad. Like some of them I give credit for, they weren't all that bad. I didn't hate the characters in it completely 100%. I hate what they did with the original Ghostbusters in the movie. I thought they were shit on and thrown aside. I hate everything the movie stands for.
What did they do to the original? What did they do to the original Ghostbusters in the movie?
Well, they threw Bill Murray out of a window and he died. And then Dan Aykroyd was a taxi cab driver. And then I think like Winston was like a bellhop or something. I don't remember. But it was all just nonsense.
And so they're just totally useless.
They had cameos. They were in like for less than a couple seconds or minutes. You know what I mean? So like I never took this movie seriously enough to like think it was any kind of it's definitely an insult, but I didn't think it was any kind of competition to the originals. Is what I'm saying. Like it doesn't hold a torch to them by any means. It's just a stupid, like almost dumb fan-made movie that had a high budget, and like I laughed a little bit at it. I would never watch it again. I'll say that much. I saw it once, and I'll never watch it again. I have no desire to watch it again. And I think that says a lot about it because that's how I judge a lot of my movies that I love. Is like, if I want to go back and watch them anytime, that's why I know I love a movie. So this one, yeah. But let me say, I didn't hate it entirely while I was watching it. I'm not saying I loved it or liked it even. I'm just saying I didn't see the hate from the film itself, besides the undertones that it had.
And well, I mean, yes, I get what you're saying. I just
like I hate the movie for what it stands for, but the movie itself.
No, I understand that. That's why
I was not bored. Or
I get it. No. That's why I was about to say something, and I was like, no. What he just said, he covered it. You nailed it, and you saw it, and I didn't. And what you just said, I totally believe. I believe if I were to watch that movie today, I would be sufficiently entertained at points and sufficiently face palming at other points.
I was really stoned.
Is that fair?
Too. Yeah, I was really stoned when I watched it too, so maybe that made a difference too.
I guarantee you that made a difference. But again, I'd probably
I had to. I couldn't go into that
if
straight
watching
face.
that. Well, who would want to?
But let's get into you. Take it, man. I've been ranting for a while. Thank you for
the new. I was going to ask you what you thought of the new Ghostbusters. If you're a big Ghostbusters fan, like I saw some things that I think I recognize, but I want to hear you talk about it first. So, did you see any specific callbacks you want to mention?
I mean, there's several.
Or anything that you want to mention first.
The first thing I want to say, hey, first of all, Thomas Gilkey's here. What's up, bro?
Where? What?
How you doing, man?
Why am I not seeing this? Hey, why is that faster than my? Okay. Hey,
yeah,
Thomas.
It is faster than,
yeah, I was like, why is my chat wrong? Anyway. We thank you, Thomas, for.
I swear to God, dude. First thing, as soon as I saw that little girl with the curly hair and the glasses, I already knew. I knew that she was at least related to Egon. Didn't know exactly how, but I knew for sure she was related to Egon. I was like, look at that. Would you look at it?
Like she would be. Like like that was one thing that when I saw that I was like. And when I picked up on that, I don't know if I was immediately.
But I just loved how, like, 40 seconds later in the trailer, they like have the reveal. But I was like, first 5 seconds, I was like, oh yeah,
you were. I know.
Yeah,
you're like, I know where this is going. That's good. Go on.
Egon's been a big part of this because it's been brought up in a lot of interviews how Harold Ramis died a few years back, and he's the one who basically created the series and everything, and was a huge part of making it happen. And it was said by Jason Reitman, Ivan Reitman's son, who's directing it now, that they were definitely going to honor him in some way, and I'm seeing that now. I'm hoping. I don't know. I think Afterlife, the title even might be a reference to him about how he's having life after death through this movie. I think it's for rather than just being like a. But I think that's a huge metaphor to him, and I think they're going to do this movie right. I really think they're going to do it right.
Well, I mean, I agree. I think looking at it, I've seen things that I would say, like when you look at the recent trend of like, oh, I got my hands on an IP. This is something that was popular. I'm gonna take that popularity and use it to my own purposes. I do not see that as much here. I see the original writer director. I see going back to the roots. I see. Did you notice in the trailer they said there hasn't been a ghost attack or there hasn't been a ghost sighting in 30 years? Which
yes, yeah, I know what you're saying. Erased.
Clean 2016 didn't happen. That was that's no longer canon, as people love to throw in the face of Star Wars fans. Except the difference between that is the difference between that, like people. We currently have SJWs and random people complaining about the fact that like the 2016 Ghostbusters is being thrown out the window. Hey, guess what? You're now complaining about the same thing that everyone in the fandom menace and or at least some of the people in the fandom and like a lot of people who are complaining about the EU being thrown out the window. That's exactly what we're talking about. Or what everyone in the fandom menace is talking about, the disregard for the original story and you trying to hijack it for your own purposes. And they're now complaining about this new movie, and it's overwhelmingly just gotten good. Not necessarily like great, but like people were like, this is how you should be doing Ghostbusters if you're going to do it.
They stole the franchise from men, and then they blame men for not going to see it. It's like, what? I mean...
Well, that just ties into the Charlie's Angels nonsense of we made this one for women. It's made by women for women to show how strong women are, and like a bunch of chicks and no dudes wanted to see it, and then it tanked, and they were like, "This is because you're all just terrible people." And we're like, "Maybe you made a crappy movie. We don't know, but you're very preachy about stuff that nobody wants to hear."
They also were at a similar age, and I know I talk to a lot of people at my job who are like in their early 20s who don't know a lot of the references I know. And sure. I didn't even grow up with Charlie's Angels. I didn't even watch the ones with Cameron Diaz or whatever. I've never seen those movies. Is anyone young who's going out to see a movie going to want to see Charlie's Angels? It's so
their
dated.
main
Like no one cares.
They didn't even pick
Charlie's Angels at all. Period. Yeah. No one gives a shit about them. Like
that was probably just something that was just an intellectual property that they could afford. Mm-hmm. Literally in that sense, in that case, in that sense. And that's what they could afford. So that's what they did. And then they tried to shame people. And what happened with the newest Terminator movie? Before the movie even came out, Tim Miller was like, hey, this new Terminator, this new character, you're gonna, unless you're a closet misogynist, in which case you're gonna be scared the fuck of her. He said that before the movie came out. It's like, dude, you're defending your movie against something that no one even has a cause to attack your movie for without having seen your movie. You were saying that up front. You're just pushing people away. Okay, this is about this. Oh, you have a political agenda. You're just saying up front in the media, hey, if you're feeling this way currently in this political climate, don't come see this movie because this isn't for you. Why would you say that? Why don't you just make a movie? And why don't you let the movie speak for itself in those aspects? Even if you made it for that, let people watch it. Listen to their responses to it. Don't tell people what it is. What the fuck did you even make a movie for in that point?
Let me make a little comparison, man. Terminator Dark Fate is a way worse movie than Ghostbusters 2016.
What's it? Terminator Dark Fate is way worse?
Way worse than that Ghostbusters movie. Let me tell you why.
Did you see it?
I've seen both, yes.
Okay. I'm interested. I haven't seen either, and I want to hear.
I Jack Sparrowed both. That's all I'm going to say. Jack Sparrowed both of them. But
and what he means is he rode a sparrow into the bowels of hell. And if you know how to do this, it's actually very impressive. I've been learning the ways of the sparrow from Hoff, but he keeps switching between African and European sparrows. I keep getting lost. But I'll let you continue with your story. You sparrowed these movies. Continue, sir.
Let me tell you why I felt a difference between one being way worse than the other. Terminator Dark Fate was way worse, even though it was, you could argue it was still politically driven or whatever, narrative driven, but less so than the Ghostbusters movie. I almost disagree. It wasn't as publicly done. But let me tell you this. When you watch the Ghostbusters movie, you can't deny that they looked like they were having fun when they were making it. Where Terminator Dark Fate looked like everyone in the movie was being held hostage the whole time at gunpoint when they were acting. And the acting was atrocious. No one ever talks about that in Terminator Dark Fate. The acting was absolutely atrocious, even from Linda Hamilton. Like, everything was just so stiff. It was like a low budget show or something. It was terrible.
I've heard again, it's not my main series. I know the first two, and I almost know absolutely nothing about it since then. So I wasn't super interested to begin with. I did do a reaction to the first trailer, and I was just like...
But I thought the Terminator was supposed to be the only robot in the movie, maybe the villain, but it seems like every other character who was human was also a robot.
And that's why I've seen other people talking about it. It's just like, you're making... Like, first of all, you're forgetting why people liked this. Yeah. You're forgetting why people liked this, and you're trying to, literally spin it to current day, very, very current day stuff. It's like, people go to the movies to get away from very, very, very current day stuff. You can make something, unless you're specifically making a movie about that. But if your movie's about metaphor, like, if you don't have to...
Honestly,
this is a movie about the Terminator. Here's the border crisis that we're currently dealing with. Couldn't you have just given me some sort of escape from the current border crisis we're dealing with and given me some fucking escapism from that? I would enjoy that shit.
That bothered me a lot, not gonna lie. I was gonna say that didn't really bother me, but it did, because
it does. Because it could just takes, and that's why the main character is who they are, and that's why everything is who they are, and that's why the director, before the movie came out, was like, if you're blah, 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 you're gonna be scared of this. It's gonna scare the shit out of you. And it's like, hey, I guess it's too scary for me. I just won't see it. Bye, Tim Miller. Also, bye, Tim Miller. The reason you got kicked out of Deadpool is because you had creative differences with Ryan Reynolds. And when you left Deadpool, you said, Ryan Reynolds had his idea of what he wanted to do, and I had my idea, and I know he's the star, so he's going to go his way, so I'm going to go my way, and that's whatever. I need complete control, and he's not going to give it to me. And then Ryan Reynolds went on to be amazing, as he always is. Tim Miller then went on to do this movie, after which, by the way, James Cameron has said, I have a lot of creative differences with Tim Miller. Tim Miller, he's the kind of guy that has to have it his way or no way at all, and I probably won't be working with him again. And Tim Miller said about James Cameron, yeah, no, he's trying to take control, and I need to have it my way or no way at all, so I probably won't be working with him again. Tim Miller, you are failing your way down in Hollywood, which is actually impressive.
I agree, man.
Stop blaming. Stop with the crap about, hey, if you're a secret misogynist, this movie's going to scare the crap out of you. Why would you say that?
I don't know.
What is that? How does that advertise your movie? And what about your movie would make that so? You're just trying to pre-defend a terrible movie because then it came out and nobody went to see it, and you probably just made it worse with those comments.
It flopped like a fish on the fucking sidewalk.
Oh my gosh. We've had a couple flops. That one, the only reason that didn't get more attention is because Charlie's Angels flopped even harder right behind. But again, Charlie's Angels didn't even have as much of a fan base behind it as Terminator does. And Terminator just died.
Well, Terminator in an equal, like, if you compare them in terms of how popular they are, did flop pretty much about the same as.
You know what has been spun as doing well is, thank you, Knives Out. see that one?
No, I'm never gonna spend time watching any Rian Johnson movie ever again.
Me neither.
Already in my life, even if it says Star Wars on it. This episode 9, I said I have a ticket for it. After this, I'm out. I'm out, baby. If you're gonna have more movies, I'll judge it on them. But right now, like, I'm gonna finish this. This is like going to a funeral, basically. I don't even want to go. I just have to show up to see this thing dead that I loved before. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I totally understand where you're coming from. There's a lot of volatile and varied emotions on the subject. I myself don't plan to go see it in theaters unless I go Jack Sparrow or something crazy, or somebody gets a ticket to something else and I go in, or someone buys me a ticket, whatever. But like, I'm not going to see it opening weekend. I'm just disappointed. I'm mad. I wouldn't be feeling I wouldn't be feeling this way if they didn't blame it on the fans, but they did blame it on the fans, and that's where we're at. And that's just unacceptable. And I don't want to be a part of them getting any sort of more money from me and thinking they can keep treating us like this and blaming it on the people that actually support the thing. I'm not going to give you my money until Kathleen Kennedy is gone. I'm not going to give you my money. I'm not. And she will be gone very soon. She's gone, and Rian Johnson's never going to get his trilogy. I know we got a little bit off topic there, but that's the way it is.
No, I will segue us in. I will segue us back to Ghostbusters. I view, we're going to catch right back up here, man. I got it. It's perfect. I want to view Ghostbusters 2016 Answer Call, as they call it, as basically the Disney Star Wars of the Ghostbusters universe. I don't consider it canon. And this new movie seems like George Lucas's son took back over and is making the next Star Wars movie. You know what I mean?
No. For the Rise of Skywalker?
No. I'm not comparing it to
Disney. That. Yes. No. Ghostbusters. Yes. Yeah. Okay. For Ghostbusters.
It's like, in comparison, like, this new movie.
I was like, what the hell are you talking about? I was like, oh, I get it now. Yes.
Comparing Ghostbusters to Disney Star Wars, and then like the new Ghostbusters movie would be hypothetically if like George Lucas's son. I don't even know if he has a son. Honestly.
He has children, but he didn't trust any of them to take over his creation. Yeah, but he looks at Dave. He looks at Dave Filoni as a son, aka him and Dave Favreau working on Mandalorian.
John Favreau, but yeah.
I said Dave. Too many Daves. Have you met Dave? He's a fan of Dave. Doctor, Dave.
I'm in the cold all day. I'm really stuffed. Dave. You ever seen Encino Man?
No.
Fraser, sure. And Sean Astin. You ever seen it?
Yes.
Dave. He's like, Link. Dave. He's like, Dave. Never mind. I'm sorry. I didn't mean tangents. Let's get back into Ghostbusters.
So did you see that demon dog?
I saw the foot.
Or terror dog? Whatever they're called. Did you see the foot? Is that what you thought? Did you think that? Well,
from the
you think that's what it was?
Like
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is.
It comes down on the hood of his car.
I think it is. Yeah, that's the
and
first
actually,
thing I thought.
I don't know. I did my reaction video to it, and when like the kids first, there's like a shake at the well, and it turns green, and I went like this, Slimer, and then literally the thing burst out. And I was like, oh, and I was like, I think it was actually Slimer. Could it be Slimer? How? But he likes to help out the Ghostbusters, and someone else was complaining. I saw several different people saying like they were not that impressed with this trailer, and I wanted to again impress upon everyone there was a teaser trailer, so it's not supposed to be giving all that much away, and frankly I don't think it did. People were like, oh well, what about the Ghostmobile, and what about this, and what about that? And I was like, that's all just the original cast is in this to some this is probably just like the initial ghost attack. They didn't give that much away.
Yeah, exactly. It gave us a setup. We don't know anything that's actually going to happen. This literally looks like the first maybe 20 minutes of the movie, 25 tops. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And you know what I really liked about this movie or trailer? I thought it had heart and authenticity to it. It didn't feel like overblown with a bunch of different noises and sounds coming at you. They didn't even do. Let me tell you this, man. my favorite thing is they didn't even pull two of the fucking tropes, which I'll
talk about that in a second, but go on to the next one.
They didn't say who you're gonna call either.
Go on to the next one. Oh, wait, that was both of them?
Yeah.
Okay. You know why? This is the teaser trailer. Now there are going to be more trailers released. I would not be surprised because I've seen people complain about that. They're like, they didn't use, and there's world class bullshitters, by the way. This was their take on it. He was like, it was mediocre. There's some things about this, something like that. One thing I didn't like, we didn't hear who are you gonna call? Who are you gonna call in this house? Ghostbusters. And I was sitting there while I was listening to that going, this is a teaser trailer, the first trailer of the entire. People complain about trailers giving too much away, and you're complaining that they didn't use that like this is the one point where you show what's new. When you're gonna show the full trailer, which you should only really have two trailers. You should only have really two trailers ever, frankly. Now they release tons, but you should really only have two. You should have a teaser and you should have the main trailer, maybe main trailer number 2. But teaser trailer, this, great. Lots of mysterious sounds. Da-da-da-da. Okay, crazy. Oh, boom. What are we going to do? And then maybe in your next main trailer, you actually have, what are we going to do? Banana.
What am I do?
And it just has some old guys walking up. It's like, you kids don't know what the hell you're doing. And then maybe they capture a ghost or something like that. And then they go, okay, maybe you have some idea what you're doing. Or she says something like along the, okay. But like, and they're going to say, where's he going? I don't know. But like, this is the teaser trailer. It teases you. Why are you asking for the main event in the teaser trailer?
You sound like Boomhauer from King of the Hill right now.
Yeah, man, dang teaser trailer. You don't talk about getting the dang old hang. And
I agree, man. I think this is exactly what we needed. And my mouth is wet for this movie right now. I'll tell you that much. Let me go through it. I'm gonna watch it through here, and I want to talk about some stuff. Fast forwarding a little bit. First of all, I do like the music. I think it's like a little old school. I think they're trying to give an old school feel to this. Also, did you notice that like there's no like iPhones or anything in this movie or high technology? It all seems to be kind of old school. It makes me wonder what year this takes place. Even though it should take place in the present day because it's supposed to be Egon's grandfather. But
it's just in a small town.
Everything here, like we don't see like any technology besides the Ghostbusters technology in this movie, which makes it look really high tech, which maybe that's why they did that.
We also haven't seen a lot. And if this is that small of a town, probably all the people hang out together, aka all the kids hang out together at the same place. That's why like the teenagers are all at the well at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, well seems to trigger the ghost attack.
And it's like, how good is like social media if like anything that really matters like is right next to you, and like maybe that's an escape for you, and their town is shaking for no reason.
You know who Paul Rudd reminds me of in this trailer?
Who's that?
It reminds me of the guy from Stranger Things who is the science teacher who is completely oblivious to everything the kids are doing, but they ask him questions about supernatural stuff all the time.
Which I can actually kind of understand. But except Paul Rudd's, I do. But that teacher never gets involved, does he? Like super involved?
No. I don't even think he ever finds out what's going on.
He was in like the first season, right?
I know he's been in every season.
Oh well, he never like gets like on the missions with them. He's just kind of like oblivious to everything. Paul Rudd.
Good him to ask questions. He's like a resource for plot development.
Okay, consider that guy. Consider that guy. You know that guy you were just talking about. Combine him with Sean Astin's character in Stranger Things, and you'll get Paul Rudd's character in this movie.
Oh, dude, I love Bob Newby. Oh, I'm so sad, man.
I know, and that's him plus the other guy is Paul Rudd's character in this movie. I love
Sean
Paul
Astin's
Rudd.
coming up a lot tonight. Anyways,
Sean Astin's got a great Astin, man. He's a good guy. I just think he carried Frodo and his ass ring into the
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, dude. Sam Wise is the real hero of the story. I'll argue that to my grave.
It's what J.R.R. Tolkien. No, don't fuck Frodo. actually, their relationship was very. Are we talking about this? Do you want to talk about this? We talking about Lord of the Rings now? Because I will. I will dive
I know you
head
got
the
me. You're school.
fuck first into.
Just leave that stupid opinion on it soon. Let's get back to Ghostbusters.
Do you have any idea? Okay, Ghostbusters it is. Did you see the dinosaur thing that I made?
Huh?
The dinosaur Ghostbusters thing that I made?
Dude, I've been working a lot.
Okay, I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to put it full screen. Let me just find it here.
Hit me up, Playboy.
We're in no rush.
Actually, I really have to use the potty.
Okay, we'll be done soon then.
No. I mean, like, I could take a break and come back and not have all the time in the world, but that's the only thing I'm fighting to do right now.
All right, well,
if you want to rant for like
25. No, I don't. I want to show you this. I want to show you this because I feel like you'll appreciate it. And then who knows? Probably call it a night.
I have more things to say about Ghostbusters though.
Okay, then let me show you this, and then you can talk about Ghostbusters.
I have to
go pee. Go pee.
All right, yeah, you rant. Please just rant for like a minute for me, buddy. That's all I'm asking.
How do I don't know how to do that. Just go. I'm kidding.
Yes.
It's actually my main problem with the Jurassic Park movies is that there aren't more Ghostbusters in them, because I have to imagine what with the cloning and bringing things back to life and then killing them and bringing them back to life. If ghosts are real, and we're assuming they are, I think there would be a lot more ghost busting needing to be going on, unless someone has found out how to use the energy of the undead in order to fuel their own device, in which case they'd be harnessing a lot of necromancy. Actually, that'd be terrible. It'd be some sort of necromantic nightmare where they would. Then I would get. What do you do when you have a lot of necromantic power? You raise the dead, I guess. It's just the basic go-to thing. Well, what dead do you raise? Now, do you use as much power as you can to raise as many dead people as you can, or do you concentrate as much power as you can into raising one specific person to as much of as semblance of life as you can? And that's the main difference between raising a bunch of zombies and, say, the movie The Mummy with Brendan Fraser, where the main guy, Imhotep, tries to raise his chick back from the dead. He wants to bring her back body and soul, but he himself is not yet brought back body and soul. That brings a lot of other questions into it, like what makes a ghost? What makes a man? What makes a ghost man?
Are you asking if you had the choice, would you create an army or raise a god? Create a god.
That's not actually. I'm saying you could raise an army of shambling nonsense, or you could raise one person you actually cared about fully back. You could actually bring one person back from the dead, or you can create an army for yourself. What do you do?
Oh, bring one person back from the dead. Like the Mummy. I heard you. I would. I'd bring back Jimi Hendrix.
How did you die? You said Jimi Hendrix, right?
Yeah.
This is classic Jimi Hendrix. No, wait, that's Limbo Stick.
Right?
That's
what, Limp Bizkit?
That's Limbo Stick.
Oh, that's how you confuse Jimi Hendrix and Limp Bizkit? Jesus Christ! Look, Kyle Jordan's here giving us the old. Fire leg. Oh, I like that. That should be our new move.
I like it. An hour and a half into the stream is when we should doing our classic clackety clacks. Yes. Hey, our classic. What? Thank you for joining us. a good time to be here. We've been talking Wonder Woman. We're off that. We're talking about Ghostbusters now.
Yeah, I want to get back to Ghostbusters.
We are, and before we get back into it, I was going to show you. I'm going to screen share it with you, Hoff. I need you to be silent because I'm going to turn on my microphone to pick up the sound from this. Okay, I'm going to show it to you, and we're going to go. Okay, blammo. Oh, the sound's not working.
Hey, dude, where's the sound?
Yeah, the sound.
Oh, shit, here I am.
The sound didn't work.
I'm still enjoying it.
You don't necessarily need the sound if you're seeing the. I don't know why my sound's not working for that, but sorry about that. Anyway, yeah, that's a that's a quick edit I made this morning because yesterday I couldn't stop when they said, "Oh, there's a gunner seat," and I was like, all I could think of when they showed that was.
You know what I can think of, dude?
The Lost World.
Hey, I got another idea for you, broski. Listen, I want you to do this. Next one, the little plot on the side of the gunner ship and the Republic attack the clones. The clone ship, gun ship. You know, how they're on the side.
Oh yeah, like do that with one of those beams.
Yeah, yeah. Do that.
No, that's what I was thinking because I was like, this morning I learned how. Yesterday I thought of the idea, and then I was like, I should learn how to do that. And then I looked up how to do it, and I was like, that's so ridiculously easy. And I was like, when I say ridiculously easy, I mean for me, who kind of knows what I'm doing in After Effects and special effects and stuff like that. I'm not saying it would be like, but even still, it's not the most complicated thing ever. But I was thinking to myself after that, I was like, I could make some funny other videos out of this, like replace, like you were saying, like.
Oh, dude, and I mean, there's like you can do like sidecars,
anything. John Wick.
You can do rocket riding on Groot's shoulder, you know.
And then the next thing I need to do is learn how to turn those people like into ghosts being captured into a box. That's the next step. The beam itself is easy.
Like high budget.
Easy enough. I know I'm doing this all for fun.
I want you to get back to the lightning bolt hands, man. I've said that time and time again.
Lightning bolt hands.
Especially with the Rise of Skywalker coming up. By the way, I have a video that I will be putting out in the next probably 2 days. It's been requested.
Yeah, I'm here.
I think people are going to enjoy it. I just need to get my everything together. I have all the pieces. I need to put them together. And you want me to bring it right here on the old channel?
I'm sorry. Say it again.
You want me to break what it's going to be here on your channel?
I'd be fine with that.
It's going to be a new Hoff Zero.
Is this another rebranding?
No. You know Mike Zero?
Oh my god!
You ever see my Hoff spreadsheet?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was great. You should start doing that more.
That's what I'm saying. I'm doing a new one. I already have it written. I already have like the script written. I just have to get it down and get most of the stuff funny and get more jokes in it. I've already filmed part of it, but I'm going to refilm it because I have to change a couple things. But yeah, I'm going to be doing a new Hoff Zero video, and I'm just going to make the ending Rise of Skywalker so crazy, it's going to be insane.
You do a great impression of him. That was one of my favorite videos that you did. So,
hey, hold on a second. I don't have a hat.
Necessary.
Let me give you this here. The Rise of Skywalker is one of the most anticipated films of the year, directed by director J.J. Abrams and written by Chris Terrio. If you're new to the channel, please do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. This is Mike Zero. Let's talk about the rest. I was there in the
your
pocket
cadence. This is Mike Zero. Please
Oh,
subscribe
he
for more
talks like a robot.
content. This is Mike. How many? Yeah. No matter what I'm talking about, it ends up like this. I go from this to like this. It doesn't matter. Are you excited for this? Who cares? It's gonna be great.
Exactly. I've noticed he started his last like 8 videos like this. He goes, "The Rise of Skywalker is now the film that is needed to be seen this year, directed by J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio." It doesn't.
And it's like,
I don't even hate the guy. I really don't. I respect.
No, it's fine. Hey, anyone can make whatever videos they want, and
Exactly.
we can laugh. But like,
I even say that. I even say no disrespect.
good. Yes,
to Mike
that's
Zero.
you make me laugh, but good.
It's more like a roast or something, man. Because he grinds, dude. He grinds hard.
He does.
You know?
I even remember before The Last Jedi came out, because back then I was looking for theories and stuff like that, and his videos would come up, and I'd be like, I would watch them. I'd be like, there's nothing supporting any of this.
No,
And then
no.
eventually, after The Last Jedi came out, and people started talking about this different stuff, and they were like, "Yeah, this guy does." He's just, and then like,
I don't
like,
believe
and everyone's like, "It's like, look, hey, all respect to you. Your theories are fun. It's neat. No, there's nothing wrong with speculating. That's fine. Great. Hey, if you want future Star Wars content, that's the way to go. But that's fine. It's not malicious." He's not doing any harm. No real harm. I mean, like, if people start believing him, then it's like, I guess that's. But like, if you believe Mike Zero, then what are I don't even know. That's why I'm like, I'm part of this.
Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.
And that's bullcrap because he doesn't ever do jack.
My problem is not the fact that he's giving theories. He should say their theories. Most of the time he goes, based on storyboards.
Yeah, he's a liar.
Yeah, that's the shit that I have a problem.
He is a straight up liar about stuff.
If you want to speculate, go ahead, but just don't be like based on like inside sources or storyboards or whatever that you're not going to put up.
Yeah, that is bullshit. Yeah.
So
that is also why he's widely ridiculed in the greater community for putting up a lot of fucking bullshit.
I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy the dude. It's
again, yeah. That's an entertainment news, not actual news. Hey, in other news, what if this happened? That'd be fucking crazy, right? Hey, check back for more future Star Wars content.
It's like the Onion of Star Wars, basically Mike Zero.
Except
Star Wars.
Kind of actually.
Yeah, it's almost the same.
They're just too serious. He's too serious about it. He's like, this is the real. If you want more future Star Wars content, I'm talking to inside sources. I'm pretty sure Luke Skywalker is going to crash a or a Star Destroyer into the planet based on some things that we've seen from just bullshit I made up. So
he was talking about Hayden Christensen being in The Last Jedi.
Of course he was. That's probably why I saw clickbait based upon that. I was wondering where that shit came from. And if it's true, that's just more embarrassing bullcrap.
I'm not talking about the Rise of Skywalker. I'm talking about he said that back before The Last Jedi.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I can almost believe it for the next movie, but he was saying that back then.
So Ghostbusters Afterlife. I think it looks good.
Shit, Ghostbusters. Dude, okay. All right. Let's get back on track. I'm not trying to drag this out all night. I know you're not either. But I will speak about it for however long I need to. Let's talk about
time is now.
Let me just say that I love the feel of this trailer. It's just it feels old school, dude. It just feels classic to me. It feels like something like warming and safe. Dare I say it? Just something I can relate to and kind of, even though it's a little bit foreign, like this takes place out in a rural area, at least at the start. We don't know if they go into the city or not. But Ghostbusters has always been about New York City and being just like in that kind of claustrophobic kind of everything's around. And there's a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man and ghosts everywhere.
Library,
Statue of Liberty, and and this is just like kind of like an opposite, but like in a good, refreshing way. This just felt like a breath of fresh air to me for Ghostbusters, and I love the video game too. I was just replaying it again recently, and I want to go back through it. Just haven't had time. It's a great game, voiced by all the original actors, but this just felt so good, man. It just felt good. And let me tell you this: this movie didn't get me as stoked as Wonder Woman's did, but this one I still loved more in the sense that like it kind of took me back, and I felt a really heartwarming kind of respect to the franchise, no matter where it goes. Even if the movie sucks, I still feel like they gave it respect. From what I've seen now, I've only seen two minutes of the movie.
my sentiments echo yours in many respects. I look at this as something that understands the intellectual property it's based upon, understands why people like it. It's not just trying to use the name to get views and then twist it to its own political or whatever purposes. It's literally the writer director, it's the original cast, it's them saying this is a continuation from Ghostbusters 2. We're going there. We hear you fans and we feel the same way. We want to make something new, and also like we want to say make something new, but at the same time respect and really honor where we came from, which is why you were like, it feels like a breath of fresh air for the franchise that I love, and that's probably why they're trying to put Finn Wolfkid in it. I forget, Wolfhard, whatever his name is.
Finn Wolfhard,
yeah, and people are like, well, he's just in everything. Stranger Things, Ghostbusters, da, 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 da. It's like the reason that this feels like Stranger Things to you is A, partially because he's in both of those, and B, because Stranger Things, the reason that it's good, the reason like a big reason, not the entire reason, but a big reason a lot of people were like that a lot of people don't realize is it's just 80s stuff. It's Jurassic Park. It's friggin' Terminator. It's friggin' Star Wars. It's all of those things put into like one basic thing. And when you see like this trailer and you're like, and I've seen how other people have complained about it. They're like, oh, well, it's just Stranger Things with da da da. And I'm like, no, Stranger Things is just Ghostbusters with these kids in it. Okay. So you got to realize, like, if you're feeling if this reminds you of Stranger Things, it's because Stranger Things is based on Ghostbusters and Jurassic Park and Star Wars and Terminator and 80s movies. Stranger Things is 80s. If you're feeling that vibe from this, you should. And also, hey, Wonder Woman's 1984. Coincidence?
Well, I was just about to bring that up. You did it already, but I was about to be like, it's all his time right back in. That mall, like I said earlier from Stranger Things, very much like the mall in Wonder Woman, like so much. And that's the thing I thought. Like it's all like, do you think people are just really trying to tie into Stranger Things, or do you think that people are nostalgic and just want that because people like me and you are just don't want to grow up?
It's both. I think also Wonder Woman, Patty Jenkins is a great director. She's smart. I don't think she's tied into this whole. And while she might, and like, again, I support women in film. I support all these, but I don't go nuts with it. I don't like, hey, this is a whole film about this one thing, except now we're making it entirely about Charlie's Angels. Okay, this is a whole film about, now we're doing, no. Ghostbusters 2016. Patty Jenkins is not like that. She recognizes how you make right and display strong women characters, and that's why I'm a huge fan of her film. She understands that you need to fail to like learn and like how to grow stronger and how to be actually strong, and also how to be strong and attractive, and also that's not a bad thing. And
I agree, man. That's why I think if it doesn't matter if a female is a lead or not. It matters about the story and learning things. And I think the audience just wants to learn something and be entertained. The audience wants to be entertained. If they learn something along the way, that's great. But it shouldn't be preachy. You know what I mean? It should be something about inspiration and motivation. That's what really, when I watch a movie, and I see someone in it that's doing something awesome, that's when I'm like really into it, because I'm like, that makes me feel like I can fly like Iron Man, or I couldn't. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like when you watch the movie, you're like, oh yeah, I'd love to be able to do that, and that's when you get invested.
When you can relate to the
But
characters, that's what a story's about. That's literally the hero's journey. Is you start here, and then you go through trials, tribulations, usually failing, sometimes not. There's different ways to tell the stories, but if you do fail, you learn from it. And at a certain point over here, you literally come to a new frame of reference, frame of mind, or you get the thing that you needed to get. You get the secret sword or the secret weapon or the antidote or the thing that the whole journey has been about. And when you come back to where you started, you are a different person. You are a different character because you have now been through the hero's journey. You have tried, and when I say tried, I mean been through trials and tribulations, and you've learned from those trials and tribulations. You have
and you come out
gained
better.
something that if someone had just told you this, you might have ignored them and said, whatever. But because you actually went through it yourself, you learned. And that's exactly what Emperor Strikes Back is when Yoda says, don't go. And he goes and he gets his hand cut off, and then he learns. And then he understands, he has a deeper understanding, but he still doesn't get it. And then Return of the Jedi, when he's actually looking down at his father's cut off hand, and then he looks at his own hand, and he's like, oh, shit. Now I get it. And that's the epiphany of his hero's journey right near the end of Back to the Beginning. Except when you get back to the beginning, you are now a different freaking person, a different person with a different reality, a different sense of being, because you've been through the whole hero's journey. That's what stories are all about. They're how we teach other people how to learn different things. And you can either learn through the stories, you can fail yourself.
That was beautiful, right until The Last Jedi completely undid that entire hero's journey by making him
anyone that tries to defend that movie, like, it's fine. Like, if you're not a Star Wars fan or a screenwriter or writer in any sense, and you just like the movie, I'm like, okay, that's fine. It was shiny. I get that. That's fine. It was very shiny. It was a very shiny movie. It's the shiniest movie. Actually, when you compare to Infinity War and Endgame, special effects in Star Wars, Last Jedi, better than both. And at the same time, it's a load.
I agree. It was very polished. It's very polished.
Oh, it looks amazing. They actually managed to, except when you start actually looking at it past the shininess, when you see past the lens flare, and you look at the absolute garbage.
I felt like it was a very dark movie, you know?
For kids, like, though. It's for kids.
Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, how ironic, right?
Yes, let's not get into... Unless you want to.
Well,
it's easy enough.
It's up to you, man. I'd like to get back into it, especially as there's more stuff I have to say. But at the same time,
I want to hear what you have to say. I got another 10, 15 minutes. I want to hear what you have to say on Ghostbusters.
Okay. Next thing, first of all, I want to say I love Paul Rudd. I'm a huge Paul Rudd fan. I think the man is just a simple man who wandered his way onto a film set sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, the guy never seems like he's acting. He seems like he's just him. And he's so charming. He's like one of the funniest guys ever. Like, literally, he makes me laugh in everything he does. You ever seen Wet Hot American Summer?
Yep.
You know the scene whenever he gets, like, mad and he just, like, throws the shit off the table and he just goes to pick it up. He's just huffing and puffing. And he's so mad about having to pick it up. Yeah. That's genius. And he's been he's done so many cameos. He does off the wall stuff that normal celebrities don't do. Like, if
Conan
you ever see
O'Brien show.
Yep, exactly. He always shows Mac and me. Yeah. And I expected every single time, you know, it's
and then he sometimes is like, all right, now I have the actual clip. Let me play.
Yeah, and it's Mac and me again. Yeah. So I love Paul. I love the movie I Love You, Man, because I also, you know, I love the band Rush, and they're a huge part of that, the friendship between people in that movie.
I love you, man.
I love you too, man. No.
That's also why I love the movie Fanboys. Hey,
yeah, that's a great
yeah. These tapes are all Rush. How about a little variety? Rush is variety, bitch.
Exactly. Yes, no truer statement has been made than that statement right there. Absolutely. And that movie is fantastic. Also, dude, that movie is kind of, I don't want to get completely into that, but it's not far off from what was really going on around that time. And like a kid wanting to see the movie who might not be able to when it comes out in theaters. It's actually happened since then. You know?
Hey, it's just for kids. It's not that important. Actually, it's really important to a lot of people. And then for you to, and when people who claim that they're fans of Star Wars casually dismiss it like that in their own defense of whatever they're trying to say, I'm like, well, if you don't care about it, or you care about it that little, or you're willing to dismiss it as such, why are you arguing with me? Is it to make me look bad on social media somehow so that you can feel better about yourself? How about you go away and let me enjoy Star Wars or criticize Star Wars however I feel fit as a Star Wars fan? And you go bother someone else.
Speaking of fanboys, whenever he goes, Han Solo is not a bitch.
Han Solo is not a bitch.
Look at his tattoo.
Seth Rogen.
He's going to be the shit.
Boo Schnickens. Jar Jar Binks, episode 1. Guy's gonna be the shit. You guys didn't say you were Star Wars fans. Dude, you saw like I did a whole meme about that. Darth Vader, this is the dark side. Don't join the dark side. Do or do not.
Dude, that movie's so good.
And it's great because he plays the Star Trek fan and he gets in a fight with that guy. They get in a fight with each other. Yeah, it's Seth Rogen versus Seth Rogen in a movie that's just out of love for like Star Wars and nerddom. Like,
let me tell you this is a true story kind of based on that in my life. A little tidbit for you. Never told this story before. I had a buddy that I used to play music with, and right around the time that we were kind of like not agreeing on shit, that's when The Force Awakens came out, and he saw it because he was like into Star Wars and stuff, not as much as me, but he was like into popular stuff. And Kylo Ren stabs Han Solo right through the chest, right? Well, to piss me off one night, this is before The Last Jedi. Remember, this is before The Last Jedi, right? He goes, Han Solo died like a bitch. Dude, that pissed me off. I ain't gonna lie. That pissed me off real bad. In 2015 or 2016, January or whatever, that pissed me off, man.
Well, when there was hope for these characters to be developed well, yeah, that's...
But in all honesty, Han Solo did die like a bitch.
When it turns out that all that Ben is or Kylo is whatever he currently is, and then it's like, okay, who cares then? And okay, who cares then? And then Rey falls in love with him, apparently. I literally had someone on like Facebook or something be like, because I was saying something about The Last Jedi, I was like, he killed his own father in front of her, and that was her only father figure, and that was a day ago. And what? She's now in love with him.
Best friend,
and the person's retaliation to that was like my common sense. Does any of that make sense to you? They were like, it's canon that they're in love, and I was just like,
what?
I sat back from the start. I looked around. I was just like, are you getting this? Are the hidden cameras getting this? Is this a goof on me? Is someone telling me right now that, hey, guess what, buddy? Just because you've followed Star Wars and read all the books and done everything for 30 plus years, I'm just going to randomly explain why these movies make sense with no other reason than just because it's canon.
My back itches. I got a bug bite or something back there. It's been all day.
I thought you were going to talk about Ghostbusters.
Yes, Ghostbusters. Oh, yeah, I love Paul Rudd, dude. He's one of my favorite actors. I love him. I think he's funny. I'm faking all that, but let's get to the next part of this trailer. Yeah, it kind of looks like when they go down the well, it reminds me of the scene like when that girl turns back, who's Egon's granddaughter. She almost looks like Barb from Stranger Things, but except in Eleven's place whenever the gate opens up in Stranger Things. So that's an interesting scene. I really do think they're pulling too much, maybe. I don't know, man. I'm gonna be turning on myself here.
Yeah, because you're going through it scene by scene. If you want to compare anything scene by scene, you can draw comparisons to anything.
Well, let's go back to the trailer, what I think is badass, dude. I love this freaking shot right here where the freaking Ecto one's going through a cornfield. I think the contrast from usually seeing it in a city to out there, just I love it, man. I think that's beautiful. I want a poster of that. I want a poster of that.
That's one of the main, actually, I think. Now, see, the crazy thing is, like, when I was making the thumbnail for this, I was looking up pictures because I've seen other people using the picture, and it looks like it's in a field of wheat in those. I like the cornfield better.
I'm sorry, it probably was wheat. I'm not bad.
I like the cornfield better, and I even remember it's fine if it is. I don't care either way. I'm just saying, when I was watching the trailer for the first time, when I did my reaction video, I remember even before that scene, just when they're like outside looking at the shed, and I saw the cornfield there, and I was like, this is great. Look at that cornfield. This is going to be great. And the reason I said that is because, like, they're playing off of other horror movies that they haven't been able to play off of because they've constantly been in a city setting, but now they can do other kind of like tropes and stuff, other types of horror and scary stuff, like stuff with cornfields and shit like that. And then when the thing comes out and is swerving through the thing, I was like, hell yes.
Dude, how scary is a barn? You ever been in a barn at night? They don't have lights in them.
I don't like to be anywhere without lights or at night, but yes, I have, and it's horrifying.
Yeah, I don't like either, man. They can. You're completely right on this. That's what I thought too. That's why I said it's a breath of fresh air. Also because they're out in the country where there is fresh air. It feels so open. Just like when you see the Ghostbusters and you're like, oh, I can breathe a little bit, and you're gonna see these ghosts maybe terrorizing a small town. It might go citywide. We don't know.
And you know what's great about that though? Also is like, imagine when the actual Ghostbusters like have their moment of walking into town and it's like a podunk town, like like.
Exactly.
Here, what happened here that's worth anything? And then they're going to figure it out. And then that's when they're going to work with the new characters. And then they're going to, and there's a difference between respectfully passing a mantle from the past to the future and doing what Star Wars did, which was trash the old to try and make the new look good. And the new only looks good when you trash the old, and then when you actually realize what they're doing, it's crap. So there is a way to do it right. Star Wars didn't do it. It feels like Ghostbusters now is trying to do it right because they've seen the mistakes of 2016.
They've already done it right with the game.
Absolutely,
the game was like
Ghostbusters 3. Essentially, yeah. That's why they're calling this one Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Good. Yeah. So I mean, the game really is.
The game is Ghostbusters 3.
It's so good. If you never played it, make sure you.
I recommend it to anyone if anyone ever watches.
It's actually a good game. It's not just like a movie game. It's actually like it plays well. All the lore is in it. They actually go really deep with a lot of ghosts. Like you learn what's a class 5 or like an ecto streamer or whatever.
I think that's great stuff. I love
it. It's so entertaining, man. I just want to be entertained at this point. That's it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Give me something that makes me happy. And I think this is gonna do it, man. I hope they keep it more to a low key level in this movie. I want to be honest with you. I know they're not because it's gonna have a budget. I know they're gonna get big time. We haven't seen any of that.
Here's what I said. No, in the trailer, here's what I saw. And I'll tell you why I was happy about it. Special effects, yes, but and again, this is something I was happy about in The Force Awakens, and I still think they did it right in that. But the use of practical effects, when they're literally going down the street with the cannon out the side, the stream, of course, is special effects, but those sparks flying, those are real sparks flying. That means when they shot that, they had them holding out the window, nothing in between, and someone added like that, and that's great. But they had the sparks ready to go. In current Marvel movies, I mean, that all just would have just.
And by the way, I love how much you are in love with the gunner scene. I am too. I love that.
There's a gunner scene. It's great, and it calls back to things that people just like. Hey, that car just did something I didn't expect it to do, and it's badass. And then the person just did something badass from the gunner seat.
It still looks old. Like, it looks like it's rusty and dusty, and it still pops out of there. And like you look at the white wall tires, they're all worn out when it slides into the frame, dude.
It's great.
I love this trailer,
and that's
dude.
what I'm saying.
I think it's my favorite trailer I've seen in the past year.
That's why it's honestly, like when you said it's all from like the first 25 minutes or so, I'm genuinely like, on par to agree. Maybe probably a little bit more than that, but still, like most of that stuff, they're showing you. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen once the actual Ghostbusters show up? What's gonna happen when they this is just them we just found this stuff and we're randomly chasing one ghost. They're chasing one ghost down the street in that. You know what I mean? And there's clearly a huge event. The entire town is shaking. So a lot more stuff is gonna happen. As far as Wonder Woman goes, she's lassoing lightning and shit. That's like a whole. That's like that seems like something that would happen at the end for a movie. I haven't even seen how often has she used the lasso up to this point.
Not that much, a couple times.
And she's using it constantly in this, and now she's riding the freaking storm. I have to imagine there's going to be, if not an explanation, then
I'm not liking how much her. I don't know. Never mind. That's a dumb statement. I'm gonna take that back.
Okay. Well, you didn't say it, so you don't have to take it back. Don't say it now. If your instinct was to don't now say it.
No, because I'll explain why I was stupid in thinking it, so it'll make sense. I saw a meme where they had we already talked about it earlier, where it's her next to Captain Marvel, and their suits just look so similar, man. They're all the same tones. It kind of. I know it's not Wonder Woman's fault because Wonder Woman was first, and that's why I said it was stupid. But at the same time, man,
her next.
I don't want to be reminded of Captain Marvel.
Wait. Which suits? The same color?
It's not their suits. Their suits don't look similar. It's the color schemes. They both have the blue, the red, and the gold.
Then you should also not worry about that. And if you are worried about that, you should look at every other things that uses red, white, and gold, or red, white, and blue. And there are certain colors that are. I'm using red and blue.
No, I'm just saying because there was a meme that had them next to each other, and that's why it was noticeable.
I can put a meme of an orange next to an apple and be like, "Hey, look, they're."
I understand
what you're saying. Deadpool.
It was for me. It was I didn't want it to be associated with Captain Marvel whatsoever. I don't want these movies to be similar in any way. And I'm not blaming this at all. I'm thinking I'm stupid for thinking that. That was my first thought when I saw it.
You saw a meme and you're like, now these are associated in my mind.
I'm smarter now. I learned. I'm wrong, but yes, that's what happened. So all I'm trying to say, I know that's why I didn't want to talk about it, because I knew I was wrong and I didn't want to explain myself, but I did, and that's nonsense. But I'm really excited for the new Ghostbusters movie. I hope I don't have to. I want to wait until July to see it.
I'm interested to see if their full trailer uses the sound. I kind of think this was the teaser. And then, because I think they're doing this kind of old school. Wonder Woman is doing it new school, showing kind of everything, and maybe the next one will show more of everything. They give away way too much in trailers nowadays. Like you were saying, I think this Ghostbusters one is really teasing a lot, and they're going to really show us something in the next trailer, but then they're going to leave a lot up to the imagination, which is how you should do a good movie.
By the way, super wise move not using the bum 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 in
I agree. I've seen people complaining about it. Yeah, it would have been.
Oh my god!
Trying to sell me on that immediately already.
Like you said, it's coming, but I'm so glad they didn't do it for this one. Or who are you gonna call? We just got that 3 years ago, and we're already sick of it.
And it wouldn't make sense actually in this trailer as we saw it. They didn't even know who the Ghostbusters were.
Right.
It's going to make perfect sense when they actually come into town. But again, they are old. We must know this. While we respect our elders, we have to also understand they can't go out and do the fight that we can fight, but they still can teach us a lot.
Have you seen that scene from The Irishman where Robert De Niro tries to kick this guy's ass and it they CGI'd his face to be younger, but he's still an old man and he's having trouble kicking? It's funny.
I haven't seen that yet.
It looks like a young guy with an old body who like really just
I'm after.
can't move.
I need to watch that movie, but
It's I don't want to spend 3.5 hours watching it though. I just looked up the.
I
clip.
appreciate Scorsese. Scott Pia. I appreciate
where you're
Scorsese, but and also I'm an Irishman. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm a second generation Irish American, but I definitely have interest in seeing that. I enjoyed a lot of his movies. I really enjoy a lot of movies where like Irish gangs fight people.
Yeah, Gangs in New York. That's not Irish, is it?
I like gangs in New York, and yes, there are, very much so.
Okay.
There are Irish gangs all over the place.
I just noticed in this trailer that the books are stacked in this room here in Ghostbusters. I just paused it at the right moment, so that's a nice touch. So I'm really excited about this, man. I love Ghostbusters, dude. I love it so much, man.
I love it as well. I love it. I'm looking forward to. I think we're both in agreement that this is looking good so far.
If Paul Rudd agrees to do something, I'm on board.
Oh yeah, like, well, here's the thing. I'll give anything Paul Rudd does a chance. I'll watch it just for Paul Rudd. The fact that this is also Ghostbusters and it's also doing so much to clearly trying to speak to the fans, and a time when many fans of many classic intellectual properties have been so betrayed by people buying them out and then just trying to like literally send a different message than the point of the originals, and then expect people just to pay for it just because like, hey, we slapped the name on it. And it's like, hey, here's a crazy thing. I have to recognize that even though you bought the name of the thing, that's not actually the thing. It's crazy. It's crazy, but I'm intelligent enough to figure that out.
You need to clip that because that was like the most straightforward thing, and it really like hit me. It hit me right here, man. Like,
all right,
what you just said was like,
and that's why we're gonna close out the stream right here. We just had
we didn't even get the predictions of Ghostbusters.
Oh wait, how many things are? Who cares? Hey, Wonder Woman, we talked about it. Ghostbusters, we talked about it. Star Wars, we talked about it. We talked about a lot of stuff. We got into a lot of different discussions.
Got me off.
Rails, we got off of them. We got back onto them. We got back off them in a different direction. We got back on them. Then we got back off them in a different direction. Then we flipped. We did a 360 spin in the air. And then we were like back on the rails for a little while. And then we like jackknifed into like the sky and got hit by a plane. Then miraculously, the plane landed on the tracks. We got back on the tracks. And now we are here at the end of the show. My man Hoff, give yourself an intro. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, an extra intro. It's like oxymoron, man. I'm Hoff. I do a lot of stuff on my channel, but I have entertaining things. I like to just, like I said, I like to entertain. I like to be entertained. That's what I hope to do. Whether you take me seriously or not, that's up to you, just like everyone's perceptions. I had fun tonight. Thank you for having me on this. I feel like we, as usual, didn't get through everything. I like your glass stash there. Not bad. But thank you. The glass stash. But thanks for having me on, man. I feel like we go on for like 8 more hours about this, and I'm tired, and I just want to sleep.
Well, yeah, we can just chat on. We can just chat on and on about anything for almost too long. I was surprised to see 2 hours going by. I was like, oh crap, I actually gotta go. but I know what you mean. We can just go. And to quote Drunk 3PO, the most underrated show on YouTube.
Well, I would like
whatever we do.
Yeah, I would like to get that approved by him, like Drunk 3PO approves this message, and we can use that to promote.
Typed it in one of our other streams. We'll just copy and paste it.
There we go, and put 5 stars next to it.
And if we need to get him on tape, I'll just impersonate his voice and fake a logo. It's gonna be fun. Look, hey, we're glad you're all here. I would never actually do that to Drunk 3PO. He actually just got impersonated by someone on
I saw that.
Twitter.
I saw it, dude.
It's a
weird.
ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
There is a difference between
They were
a
blocked,
parody
though.
account. Yeah, and they should be. That's what I was saying. There's a difference between doing a parody of someone like, oh, well, how come someone can't pretend to be Junk 3PO? Ruin the Man Baby pretends to be Ryan Johnson. It's like, yeah, but he doesn't go around saying he's Ryan Johnson. He goes around calling himself Ruin the Man Baby. He doesn't copy exactly what Ryan Johnson's profile looks like to make it seem like he's Ryan Johnson.
Dude,
he's Ruin the Man Baby. This person changed one letter to try and appear like Drunk 3PO, copied everything else on his site, copied everything else about him to try and then manipulate how people thought about Drunk 3PO. That is different. That is false. That is insane.
Let's talk less about what happened in the psychology behind it. What kind of person is that obsessed with someone on YouTube?
What I said to
talks
him
about Star Wars, and they just want to manipulate and beat them. Like, what kind of?
I said on one hand, I'm sorry that happened. And that's terrible. On the other hand, dude, you must be doing something right if someone's going to that crazy ass lengths to try and discredit you. That's nuts.
Also,
way to go. Keep it up. Don't stop because of that nut.
That scares me though, man, because I don't want it doesn't make me want to get more subscribers if people are going to do that shit to me or something, you know?
Like memes at a certain point, this is how I said it to someone else. I said memes are inevitable. Parody is inevitable. Like if you get to a certain point, people are going to start making fun of you. Like even that stream where I got frozen going like that, and now that's a meme of me. I love that meme too, but there can be bad memes, people that don't like it can take it a different direction. It can happen. There's a difference though between making a meme that's derogatory about someone and then faking their identity to try and discredit them by lying about being them. You know what I mean?
That's weird.
And that's something that's the next level of that's
that's also weird when you imitate someone. I think that's when it becomes weird. It's when you put that much effort into imitating someone. I don't even have the time to do anything like that. I don't have the time to put effort into my own channel I'd like to, let alone try.
That's the thing. The people that are doing those things, they aren't creators. They're not creating. They're not working on anything. All they are is bitter and alone. And hey, maybe I can troll somebody, and then I can show off to my virtue signaling friends that I just trolled one of the horrible fandom menace people because they're all just bad people. And even though I faked and lied and discredited them through false means, they're the bad people and it's okay. That's what kind of nonsense this is. And it's foolish and it's bad. And anyone who's doing that, they're lonely and alone, or they're literally being paid by someone that feels threatened by what you're saying. So
I don't think loneliness is the only.
Well, not loneliness, but also angriness. They're missing human connection, and if you're freaking.
Some people don't have. Some people are mentally ill and don't have access to the right things to make them not do things like that. That's all I'm saying. That seems like something a mentally ill person would do. If you ask me.
Then they need to get help, but this isn't the answer, and it's not right. So, a mentally ill person can do a lot of things. Derogatory or detrimental to themselves or detrimental to others.
They're good enough to make Drunk 3P instead of Drunk 3PO. So I mean,
they can't be that foolish. They knew what they were doing. It's not, it was made with malicious intent to discredit someone by imitating them. It's identity, if not theft, impersonation for derogatory purposes, and on something like Twitter.
The real crime is that's weird.
I don't want to say the real crime is that it's weird. The real crime is that they're literally impersonating someone to try and discredit them. Which is also weird, but that's not the being weird is not a crime. The fact of why this is weird is what.
You're right. Being weird is not a crime. It's the fact that it's.
I'm very weird. Yeah, no.
A different level of weird. I'm weird.
There's tons of different levels of weird. I'm weird. I'm way too into Star Wars and different kinds of stuff, and that's weird to some people. But there's a whole other kind of weird where you're following people down the street and obsessed with them, or impersonating them on you. And it's okay, hey, I'm weird. Oh, I like to dip my French fries in mayonnaise. Whoa, that's weird. I like to stalk people, impersonate people, and deceive people. That's fucked up.
Yeah, that's different level.
We all got different levels. Never get to that level. If you find yourself on that level, seek a therapist. Even if you're getting close to that level.
I hope I never get past the level of your jacket right now. No, I love your jacket, man. To be honest. That's pretty awesome. I wrote things that I like most of the time. I look like an old man right now. I look like I should be in a wheelchair in a nursing home getting fed mashed potatoes because of the way the sweater looks and this thing that I put on underneath. So, you want to wrap this up?
Yep.
Put the mask back
does it.
on.
Oh, I don't know where it went. I think I lost it. Yeah.
At least I'm here. All right. At least I'm here. Finish it off.
It's gone. Well, you know what? I'll just try this. Hold on. All right. Thanks for joining us tonight. No, I can't see now.
Yeah, let's say the like Baron von Zemo.
Okay. Anyway. Hey, thanks for anyone who joined us tonight. We really enjoyed having you here. And we really enjoyed whatever we talked about, which I don't think either of us can remember right now. So we'll see you next time on whatever kind of showcase with Hoff and Vase. Signing out.